Well, more than 80,000 people have now been flown out of Afghanistan since the Taliban takeover. Charlotte Bellis has been talking to Afghans who are still trying to leave outside Kabul's international airport.
Well, the countdown is on as the US and foreign forces now only have until Tuesday to get out, and with that means the end of evacuation flights. And here outside the airport there is panic as people rush to see if they can get on some of these final flights. Now, we understand the US and the Taliban have a deal that the Taliban are only allowed to let people through here who have foreign passports, who have visas and who have paperwork that is verified.
I'm here without documents because a lot of people that went to the U.S. on evacuation flights were civilians. So I thought if civilians are going and I served in the army, I should be eligible to go too.
Everybody's going, so I'm going too. In my house, they won't leave me alone. My wife says, "Get down there. Why are you so lazy?" I leave the house every day, so my wife stops hassling me.
In a way to control the crowd and try to figure this out, they've been looking through people's paperwork at different locations around Kabul and then putting them on these buses, knowing that these people are actually allowed to be on these flights and they are prioritized to get through. And in the meantime, they're trying to control the crowds and keep people back, stop them from swamping so that these buses can come through. How they are doing that is by shooting guns in the air, by using water cannons and by beating people to push them back.
I've been close to the gate 3 times, but because of gunshots and shouting, it makes everyone scared. Since I'm a woman, I don't have the courage to push past them. I'll do my best to get out, even if I get shot. I will continue trying to get inside the airport.
Now, the Taliban say that anybody who wants to get through and wants to leave and has the paperwork that would allow them on these flights can do so. But they also tell us they hope people don't. They say that these people, many of them who are highly skilled, would be an asset to the country going forward and that they hope that they stay. But in the meantime, with only 6 days left until these flights have to end, and we know that the number of flights leaving will decrease in the days going forward, that the crunch is on, and a lot of these people are trying their best to get through into the airport today.
Well, let's now speak to Rosalind Jordan. She's in Washington, D.C. with all the latest from there. Ros, the Pentagon is saying, 10,000 people are still left to evacuate? Are they confident that these airlifts are actually still on track?
Well, they say that they believe that these evacuations are still on track, that they can get this work done by August 31st. But there is growing concern because the Pentagon says it does need to draw down its remaining equipment at the airport in Kabul, as well as remove the remaining U.S. troops who were deployed to help with this evacuation. And so that's raising some question about whether those who want or need to leave the country will be able to do so. The Pentagon spokesperson is John Kirby.
We will continue to evacuate needed populations all the way to the end if we have to and we need to. If you're an evacuee that we can get out, we're going to continue to get you out. So in those last couple of days, we will begin to prioritize military capabilities and military resources to move out. That doesn't mean that that if you're an evacuee and you need to get out, that we're not going to try to get you out, but that we will have to reserve some capacity in those last couple of days to prioritize the military footprint leaving.
Now, there's also this fact. On Tuesday, the U.S. President Joe Biden said that he had ordered the Pentagon and the State Department to give him contingency plans if they get to or get close to August 31st and don't see that the work of evacuating people from Afghanistan has in fact been completed. Now, while no one will say that they're actually going to push past August 31st, the implication is there that if they don't have everyone out of country who should have been able to get on a flight, it seems as if there's now the possibility that that date could push. Of course, what's the big factor in this? The Taliban says that the U.S. government made an agreement with it to remove all troops by August 31st and that it expects the United States to keep to its word.
Rosalind Jordan there with all the latest from Washington, D.C. Thanks so much, Ros. Well, meanwhile, hundreds of Afghans, are trying to enter Pakistan at the Torkham border crossing. but with no proper documents, many of them are unable to get through. Osama bin Javed has this report for us from the Pakistan-Afghanistan border.
From Torkham, Afghanistan, I've just entered Torkham on the Pakistani side. This is the main border crossing between the two countries for trade and for people. As you can see, Taliban fighters are manning all the border posts across the country with neighboring countries, including Central Asian states, Pakistan and Iran. And these fighters have been telling us that they're allowing everyone to cross the border. Now, the problem here, as you can see, hundreds of people have been gathering every day since Kabul came to the control of the Taliban on August the 15th. And these people have been trying to get inside Pakistan. The Pakistani authorities say that they will only allow people who have the right documentation to make sure that no extremist elements, no terrorist groups, or no infiltration of Pakistan can take place.
My family and kids are crossing Pakistan, and we have been waiting at this border crossing for 1 week, and we'll be here until we're allowed to go.
As the trucks go back and forth, trying to earn a living in this area. For humanitarian reasons, the soldiers have not been stopping them, but they've been carrying cigarettes and other things that they've been trying to smuggle across the border and make a quick buck. People have been saying they're desperate not just to cross into Pakistan for safety, but because they have tribal ties on either side of the line which divides the two countries, and they want to visit their families, they want to go and meet people who are either sick and who've passed away. But so far, if they don't have the right documentation, they're not going to be allowed inside Pakistan.